How we doing today? It's Keller Ford at Primo Vino and Cask, and we are here to talk about beer. Spring weather coming, temperatures are warming up, and it's officially beer season, going into the warmer months. So we're going to highlight in a couple videos a couple of our friends that are somewhat local breweries. We're going to start with Bluewood Brewery in South St. Louis. They are in the old Limp Stables on Cherokee Street, and Cam and Jerry, a couple buddies of ours, kind of run the show up there, and we recently picked their beers up. They have very limited distribution. They just started canning some stuff, so we picked it up, and their beers to me are brewed very true to style. They're very enjoyable for everybody. They're not crazy sour beers. They're not crazy stouts. They're just good, solid representations of style. So we're going to taste through a few of those today, and we're going to start with Chasing Sunset Vienna Style Lager. So obviously lagers, are going to be a lighter style beer, an easy drinking beer, if you will. I love the 16-ounce can format. A little bit more of a golden color than what you might typically think of as a lager. Yeah, golden, kind of copper hue to it. So let's see what it tastes like. Smells great. Definitely have some kind of caramel notes from slightly toasted grains. Super light on the palate, but flavorful, getting some of that malty character on the back end. Finish is pretty clean, so doesn't have any lingering bitterness or anything like that. Just really, really enjoyable. I think that's a crowd pleaser for most folks sitting out on the back porch. Really nice beer. Next beer we're going to try is the Sparkly Bits Kolsch. Kolsch also kind of similar to a lager, very light, easy drinking beer. These beers are perfect for nice warm afternoons. So you'll notice a little bit lighter color than the Vienna lager. Nice golden hue to it. A little cold in that glass, but that's the way we want it. Really good, almost like if you've had grains of paradise in a beer before, that kind of light, flowery, tropical note to it, but very light. Maybe a touch more sweetness, but that's very crisp, very, very good. Yeah, that screams like baseball weather. Really, really nice beer. All right, I will have to say I do love their labels. I love the artwork. I love the names of their beers. They do a really good job. They're very eye-catching on the shelf. So next we're going to try Bananas and Blow. I mean, just a great name, a great label. It's a Bavarian-style wheat beer or Hefeweizen. So let's see what this is all about. I have an idea what it's about just by the name. But typically with these beers, you get a lot of like banana flavor, bubblegum flavor, juicy fruit, gum kind of notion to it. It's pretty clear though. It's not a cloudy wheat beer. Nice color. Definitely get some Hubba Bubba notes on there. It's wonderful. Yeah, when you think of Hefeweizen and traditional wheat beer, it has all the flavors. I mean, I feel like I'm chewing bubblegum. I mean, it has that juicy fruit bubblegum note to it. Maybe a little banana. I don't really get the banana part, but if you like that style of Hefeweizen, this is a very light expression of it. It's fantastic. Great name. So far, this has been our most popular selection from them since we've had them in the store. So yeah, that's a wonderful beer. Next up, we have the 1821 English Dark Mild Ale. Yeah, so this should have a little bit more roasty character to it, a little more caramel notes. Should be a little darker in color, I would think. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, that's pretty. Nice head on it. This kind of tan, foamy head on it. Yeah, a little more bitter notes, a little more maybe a little more caramel. Oh, nice. Totally unexpected. There's definitely a little coffee note in there, like a light cold brew note. That's kind of unexpected. That's really nice. Yeah, it's kind of has the body of a lager with a little bit of roasty notes and a little bit of coffee notes. So a little more flavorful beer that you could still drink in hot weather. It's not heavy at all. And the next beer is Battle Stag. We've had this beer on some kegs of this before they started canning, and it was very popular. Brown ale. Brown ale is a category that is, we just don't see a lot of anymore. I'm sure there's plenty of people making them, but they're not as popular. They've fallen out of style, whatever the case may be. But there's nothing wrong with just a good, solid brown ale. So obviously lighter than a porter would be, but definitely has a little more body than a lager or things of that nature. So it kind of has a similar color to the 1821 mild that we had, maybe a little darker color, but a little more roasty notes for sure, a little more, roasted grain. Little sweet note, little sour note, not sours and sour beer, but like sour bread, sourdough bread. A little more bitterness, and the finish just really hangs on. It's good. Yeah, I think if you looked up brown ale in the dictionary, this would probably be what it would say. I mean, it's just pretty much classic brown ale, really solid beer. Bluewood does some really awesome kettle sour beers. They do some stouts and some barrel-aged stouts that are more seasonal. They kind of cover all the bases, but this is kind of the meat and potatoes, I think, of their beers, which are just really solid, easy drinkers that I think appeal to the masses. We will be doing a tasting with these guys on a Tuesday here coming up shortly, and we'll keep you updated on that. And if you're ever in St. Louis, go check out Bluewood Brewery on Cherokee Street in South St. Louis. Cam and Jerry, great guys, really cool place to stop in and have a drink.